The JHR-CHA Award for Human Rights Reporting recognizes exemplary journalism in any format published or broadcast by Canadian media that puts a human face on situations where human rights are being disrespected. In doing so, it seeks accountability from those entrusted with protecting these human rights and shows the cost of their neglect. There are 5 finalists in this category. The first finalist is Cullen Crozier of APTN Investigates, with the entry Against Their Will. Forced sterilization is supposed to be a thing of the past. However, Crozier met with 3 Indigenous women in Saskatchewan who say they were coerced into being sterilized after giving birth. Here's Roxanne Ledoux explaining what she can remember.
They never really said anything in my presence, but I could hear them talking down the hallway, or like the head nurse would always ask the other nurses, did she sign those papers yet? I heard her ask that around 3 or 4 times because my room is just 2 doors down from the nurse's station. So I heard her ask them several times, like, has she signed the papers yet? Has she signed the papers yet?
Our next finalist's work was also broadcast by APTN Investigates, which aired In the Shadow of the Dam by Trina Roach. Muskrat Falls is a project plagued by problems, many of which have been brought on by the Crown Corporation responsible, Nalcor. It's also made headlines as the Indigenous communities that call the watershed home have been restricted from exercising their rights. Marjorie Flowers explains what's at stake.
My culture is at stake, right? My culture, my Inuit culture.
Marjorie Flowers lives in Goose Bay now, but grew up in the Inuit community of Rigolet.
We ate salmon all summer long and trout. It wouldn't be a summer for me if I didn't go get my salmon. You know, so it was really important and remains important. It's so important.
The third set of finalists is Joseph Loureiro, Habiba Nasheen, Kimberly Ivani, Eileen McBride, and Valérie Ouellette, with their entry Death Behind Bars from CBC News' The Fifth Estate. It all started with a USB key that contained surveillance video from the notorious Elgin Middlesex Detention Centre, a provincial jail in the London region. The resulting broadcast pulled back to question why so many inmates have died at this jail, and includes an interview with Anthony George, a convict responsible for one of those deaths.
You do admit that you killed Adam, right?
Yes, I admit that I killed him, right?
What do you want people to know about you?
I guess they should know that I'm sorry for what happened, right?
Are you?
Of course, I mean, it never should have happened. Like, I still maintain that I had no intent to kill him at all. I've never thought in a million years that I was going to kill someone like that.
The next finalists are Adrian Arsenault, Sylvia Thompson, Jean-François Bisson, Brenda Whitmer, and Andre Meyer from CBC News The National, with their entry The Short and Complicated Life of Christy Padua. Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs has had many victims. He and his followers would say those who've died are the ones running the businesses of illicit drugs in the country. This piece introduces us to one who wasn't.
And this one is Christina.
Christy Padua's death.
When she was shot, she was slumped on the chair.
His photo of the moment is hard to take.
During things like this, everybody seems to be afraid to talk. They should have seen everything, but they refuse to talk to the media.
See that interment notice? The date has been left blank because until there's money for the funeral, the family couldn't book one. And she's already been dead a few weeks.
The final finalists are freelancers Mark Ellison and Didier Kassai, with their entry House Without Windows, published by Huffington Post Canada. Using immersive 360-degree video and photography from Ellison, and captivating illustrations by Kassai, this team goes to what they describe as the worst country in the world to be a child, the Central African Republic. The risks are present at every turn here: disease, malnutrition, extreme poverty, conflict, superstitions, lack of schooling, physical labor, dominance, the sex trade, human trafficking, and on and on. The team delves into many of these risks, showing not just the children and teens who are living under these circumstances, but how local and international aid organizations are working to try and improve their lives. As much as they generally try to bring light into these circumstances, the reality for too many children here remains growing up trapped in a house without windows.